welcome everyone to episode 3 of Unfiltered. It's been a while since I have done one of my podcasts for a few reasons, but tonight I'm really excited. We are kicking it back off with Holly Marshall, and you've got one hell of a journey to share as well, haven't you, Holly? So I'm really, really excited for it. For anyone that does not know me, I'm Yannah Rose, and I am the owner of the CEO Digital Lab, design support, hair, beauty and aesthetic business owners with their business growth and strategy through things like digital resources, mentorships and memberships and things like that. So that's a little bit about me, okay? So Holly, let's get cracking on. If you want to introduce yourself and a bit of a background of yourself, then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name's Holly. I own Skin and You, which is in Ripley, Derbyshire. Background is I am a mum of one. I started aesthetics in 2023, then went into the skincare 2024. And yeah, my love has not stopped and I love doing what I do.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what? I found as well when I was doing the hands-on treatments, I fell in love with doing the skin as well. I just became obsessed with skin. You know, once you understand the actual like anatomy of it all and everything like that, I just fell in love with it. So yeah, like I kind of went down the route that you've gone down as such. Yeah. So you have got a background in the NHS, haven't you? So what was you doing in the NHS before you came into aesthetics?
So before I came into aesthetics, I was working as a nurse. So I've been qualified since 2012, done various roles, worked in various places. But I just felt it was a bit stagnant in the NHS. There was a bit of a culture, toxic culture, wanted to get out. Yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't feel like I fitted in anywhere. Even though I love caring for people, love the job, just everything that surrounded nursing just was bringing me down. So I needed to get out. Yeah. So yeah, then I became a businesswoman.
Yeah. Do you feel that, you know, even when you was younger, did you always kind of feel like you was destined for something a bit more with like, because I knew when I was younger I was going to be a business owner. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I just knew I was going to go into business.
Yeah, I always wanted to run my own business, but it was always a dream. It was never like, I never thought I'd get there. And then just things sort of aligned into place and then it happened.
It's crazy how it does, doesn't it? Because I mean, I first started my business journey as such, or started like dipping my toes into business in my early 20s. I mean, it was through network marketing back then. And honestly, it's hilarious because, you know, when some of my old posts come up on Facebook from what I was doing back then, I would be like, what are them? The quality was shocking, everything. But I learned so much. So I always say to people, honestly, if you're going to go into anything, have a little go in network marketing first because it opens your mind up and you learn so much. Yeah. And then I think it was like 5-6 years later. I think I only did that for like a year at the beginning. And then I was running a business with my mum. Like we scaled that, you know, to like 10K months and things like that. But then my mum was the business owner, so I couldn't go no higher than my mum, obviously. So I had to like start like finding something for myself. And eventually I did. I found my way, scaling different businesses and things. And then, yeah, I ended up in the beauty and aesthetic industry myself back in 2023. So the same as you. Yeah.
Hard, isn't it? It's hard.
It is. What made you want to go into this industry? Was there like a light bulb moment that you thought, oh, I really want to go into that? Or was there something that kind of like pulled you in?
So there wasn't a light bulb moment. I used to get, well, I still have my Botox done and I had lip fillers, but I sort of looked into other jobs that wasn't nursing and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't leave nursing behind. Because you'd have to start from the bottom. I'm like 30, well, I'll be 37 this year. I thought I just can't do it. So I needed to use my nursing background into whatever I was doing in the future. And that just sort of, just happened.
Yeah, and they really do come hand in hand with each other, don't they? They really do. Yeah. So it's like even the, you know, just the client safety and the client care, you really do need that when you are in the beauty and aesthetic industry. And I do say to people all the time, if you are just coming in it just to see money signs, you're in the wrong job because above all, you need that client safety and that client love. That is above all of what we do, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, if you've got the right values and, you know, ethics, you don't see the money that much. And I've put more money in than I've got out. So it's not about the money for me. It's about having my independence, having my own business, having my own schedule, and being able to help people, and feeling valued for doing it.
Yeah, 100%. And that is the right way to be about it in my eyes, because I'm very big on the value side of things. And I don't know if you watched one of my previous podcasts. I think it was my very first episode with Millie. And she's a prescriber, and she was saying that she is in exactly what you just said. I have put more in than what I've had out at the moment. I'm not in it for the money, because people see this glamorous lifestyle that people portray online, and actually it's not true. It's not real, is it?
No, I think it depends. If you're charging like £170 for some £23 filler, then you are going to see a profit. But that's just not for me. I don't want to, because I think if it was me and I was paying for a product and I was paying that price, I'd want some sort of premium product or something that's going to be, last me or be a decent filler at least. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think as well, I mean, obviously it is a luxury. It is a luxury treatment. It is a luxury industry. It's not the cheapest of industries, even for clients, it is a luxury thing for them, isn't it? Yeah. But I think there needs to be a level of understanding, because like you say, some of these cheap products, they're absolutely shocking, absolutely shocking. I would have people come to me, with complications and needing corrections and things like that and you can tell what's been put into them or what's been used is not okay. It's not suitable in the slightest. It's the cheapest box of filler they've probably got, or the cheapest skin boosters, or not using correct medical graded serums for microneedling and things like that. So it's about really educating the public as well. I think as well we have a massive responsibility for that.
Yeah. And I was and that goes hand in hand, making sure that your clients are at the forefront of why you're doing it. Because at the end of the day, if you're using, because you'll know, people message you on Instagram saying, do you want to buy this? Wholesalers, I don't think they're a reputable company. I've never heard of them. Don't know where you're getting it from. And some people do use them. And it's like you're putting people's face, skin, and potentially lives at risk for not using proper products.
Yeah, I actually had a client come to me. She'd had a 5-point done with skin boosters, and she messaged me saying, I feel like whatever's been put in me isn't quite right. And I said, well, come to me, let's have a look. And I said, oh, when did you have this done? She says, oh, it was last week. And you could still see the lumps, and you could feel it. And I was like, that is not a skin booster. Whatever's been put in your face is not a skin booster. There's physical lumps there. But obviously, because I didn't know what it actually was, what was I meant to do? It's not like I'm thinking, right, is this a dissolve? Is this filler that's been put in instead of skin boosters? I was like, you really need to go back to the practitioner. And I don't actually know how that ended up turning out. I did contact her a few times, but I didn't hear back from her after that. But yeah, it was odd. And it makes you wonder, what are people actually putting into people's faces? You can't play Russian roulette with people's faces. You really can't.
I know. It is terrifying. It's terrifying to think that people who are charging less, that who knows where they're getting the products from, but if you want to mess with your face it's difficult saying it and be honest, but you're going to have to pay the price for having decent filler, decent practitioners, and for them to have their values and think of you first rather than the money.
Exactly that.
Does that make sense?
100%. It makes perfect sense. And that's why I do think it's just so important that, through content on social media, it's not just about posting before and afters. It really is about educating now, especially when you're seeing all the, what AI can do now, like the editing of photos. I mean, I saw something on Instagram the other day and they were showing a lip transformation, but it showed the lips after they'd done the treatment, and it was fantastic work. But then they put a filter on it to make it more crisp. It completely changed the client's face and the lips. I'm thinking, we need that. Yeah, we need that level of honesty. So that's why I think the educational aspect is just so important across social media now. I'm massive on that with my own clients and my own students. Honesty and transparency is key, but talk it through your content, talk it through your strategy of business as such.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when you first trained, you obviously started off, didn't you, with filler and Botox? That's originally what you started off in, didn't you? So how did you find that?
Scary, daunting. I can't believe. Luckily, obviously, I'm trained as a nurse doing injections, but aesthetics is totally different on its own. It's a different market, different kettle of fish, and it was scary, especially being on your own, because you're in a hospital full of doctors, nurses, other people that you can rely on, and there's nobody there except you. And yeah, I didn't feel confident with doing fillers straight away. Yeah.
I literally, honestly, when I was doing my training and it came to doing the lips, we'd just gone through everything that could go wrong. So we was exploring, VOs and all that type of stuff. And I literally sat there with the girl opposite me, who's now become one of my best friends. It's the first time I met her. And she went, "Are you all right?" You've gone, "Why?" I'm like, "I can't do this. I cannot do this." It terrified me. And the models, they were sat waiting outside the room for like 2 hours. And in the end, the trainer was like, "Yannah, come on, you've got to do this." And I'm like, "I don't want to do this." And don't get me wrong, I did it, but did I feel confident? No. And I walked away with a certificate saying that I was fully trained. I did not put a needle in anyone's face for 3 months until after I qualified. It took me 3 months to build up the courage, and luckily my best friend, took one for the team, and I was like, "Right, let me do you before I do anyone else." But it's actually scary that you can walk away with a certificate after one day. I do feel that.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, once I qualified, I did Botox and filler. I think the most I did was about 3 lips, and I just didn't, honestly, I didn't feel confident at all. So then I went back for a refresher training, and I did a few more. Yeah, so I don't think this industry is set up for new starters with the support and without you paying. So you're constantly paying for something. There's nothing like embedded where you get that support for free. And then I know it's private business and I get that, but there's no like community like you get anywhere else.
No, and that is one of the things that I found straight away as well. There was no support. I'd walked away with a certificate and I was told, "Oh, you're going to get 24/7 support, lifetime support." You sold a bit of a dream. Like, okay, so I've got someone on the other end of the phone if I want to speak to you or whatever. It's not there. It's a complete and utter lie. And I just think, something that I'm trying to reinforce with training academies is if you are going to offer lifetime support, please make sure you've got the structure in place to offer that, because because they're likely training other students, they're likely doing hands-on treatment still themselves, they've then got a life, they might have kids, all that time. So it's actually a lot to manage. So I do feel that there needs to be better restrictions in place to say, okay, if you're a training academy, there needs to be some type of structure to it and aftercare and all that type of stuff. So I created the newcomer starter kit on the back of kind of how I felt at the very beginning, and that's been amazing for people. Like, I've had so many messages saying like, this is like gold, like every single academy should hand this out to all of their students. I mean, it's still not the full support, but it gives them a better detail and outline, because I walked out there none the wiser, like, wow.
Yeah. I do think, though, I don't think training courses should be allowed just to be for 1 or 2 days. I think how can that practitioner sign you off to be competent and safe to inject people when they've only known you 24, 48 hours? Well, not even that, 24 hours, 2 days. Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, I walked away with a certificate to be able to dissolve filler and was never even shown how to do it.
Yeah, see, that's not very good, is it? It's totally different. Yeah.
I mean, luckily for me, I know a lot of people already in the industry. I've got some very close friends that was already qualified and things, but I have to turn to them. I lent on them rather than where I did my training. Because I felt like I couldn't go back to that. I messaged a few times, but no, nothing, absolutely zilch.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be some structure around practitioners coming in. But yeah, it's just crazy.
It is. It's a crazy industry, and that's why the regulations do need to come in. It does need to get tougher. I'm a bit of a big researcher, especially when we work with my clients and things, and we're working out strategy and things like that, because a few of them have got academies and things themselves. And I'm like, right, we really need to start thinking about this. We're gonna have the red zones, the ambers, and the greens. I definitely think that is going to be the case. Obviously, nothing's set in stone. I mean, some people are like, "Oh yeah, no, let's get looking at other people." Like, scaremonger, not interested. And I'm like, no, that's not how we work around here. Yannah Rose is working with you on your business. Like, this is what we need to be looking at. There's no point burying your head in the sand. Like, let's get exploring what we need to do moving forward.
They should want to get to that standard now, so they're prepared, they're ready, and they're go, and they're experienced in how to handle it when it all changes. You don't want to be new to the change.
No, but I think it's a very scary time for people in the industry. I think a lot of people are in the feel of, there's people that are terrified, thinking, God, I'm going to lose my job overnight. They could make this big decision and that is it. People are done. And I do, in a sense, think that is absolutely wrong. Like, I don't agree with that take on it. But what I do feel is that every single person, whether you are a medic or a non-medic, because there's too much of a divide on that, we're all working on we should all be one big team in my eyes. There should be no difference in that. But I think everyone should be checked in the same way. I think everyone's, policies, the client journey, aftercare. If you are running an academy, there should be, like we've just said, the ongoing support and things like that, the accessibility to it all. So I do feel like if there needs to be more, but at the same time, how is that going to be managed? Like, is there even the resources out there for that? I don't think there is.
No. There's no structure to it. There's nothing that can monitor it, unfortunately, unless they're going to throw money at it. I don't really know how they're going to do it, unless they're going to get existing like the CQC or Save Faces or something along them lines that are already in the industry, and they're just going to make that an enforcement for them to come but that's going to be big on them. I don't think they've got the capacity to do that. Just going back to non-medics and medics, I totally agree. You've got some absolutely wonderful and more talented than some nurses, non-medics. I absolutely understand. I think the only where I have an opinion is obviously as nurses and medics, we've got a code of conduct. We have to put the patient first. We understand it's difficult in it because although you have the training on and at the beauty school you have the training as well, but we have actually got, I don't know, do beauticians have a code of conduct and a regulator? Do they
I mean, to be fair, I think if you go through, like the level 3s, or if you're actually with a provider as such. So obviously when I went into the beauty side of things, again, they was just the 1 day courses. I mean, the beauty things that I did lash extensions and lash lift and brow waxing. That's as far as I kind of went. But what I do know is if we've been looking at apprenticeships, my daughter, down that field. We've been looking for over a year, and it's impossible. You just can't get one nowadays. But their level of standard is you have to have a level 3 before you can then move on to anything further. And the level 3 covers it's basics, it's facials, and it's waxing, and then there might be some that offer the nail side of things as well. But it is very basic. But yes, there is a structure and a roadmap that they have to follow.
Yeah. But yeah, going back. Sorry, I divert off things so much. Going back, I think with nursing and doctors, they've had it embedded with them. So if anything went wrong, not from the aesthetic wise, but if they have like an allergic reaction, or we're trained in like emergency situations, I do think we differ from them because at the end of the day, Yannah, you could be working in the supermarket one day and then you'd put in injections into somebody. So I think that's where I differ from. And I'm not saying all non-medics are like that, because they're not. They've spent a lot of money and they've done a lot of training and they're very good at what they do. But from my stance, that's what I think from that.
I 100% agree. And I was a non-medic, so I think there definitely does need to be some type of regulation for non-medics. I do agree with that. With nurses, you could risk losing your PIN if you do something wrong. But if a non-medic, there's no risk. They technically haven't got anything to lose in that sense. But so I do feel that is where the differences is. It does need to be regulated, and I think it needs to be regulated properly.
If anything goes wrong or we get reported or anything, we have to go to the NMC and speak about. We can be off the register, we can be suspended, we can face criminal charges and stuff like that. And the NMC take things like this very seriously, where non-medics don't really have somebody else that they have to talk to except the police or the law.
No, I agree, and it's like I say, it's a massive discussion at the moment, isn't it? And it's some people like yourself, you're a medic and I'm a non-medic, and we can have this, really good conversation, and as I can with a lot of other people and other people in the industry. But there is some people, medics mostly, I would say, they are really harsh on non-medics.
They are.
They're
and
really harsh.
And I've actually said, I don't agree with you. Like, there's some fantastic people that can do lips better than me, that can do facial transformations better than me, and they are in their own right. They are a practitioner. So yeah, I don't agree. Yeah, and there's some nurses that aren't very good at it.
I know. I have had to in the past correct some nurse work, with when it's come to lip filler, and that's fine. It happens. But I think what the big thing for me is when they they shout about being a nurse or a medic or whatever it is all over social media. I'm a nurse, this is a nurse-led clinic, this, that, the other. So they use it as a way to build up trust, which I totally get, because for the public, you think, okay, they're a nurse, they're going to know their stuff, they're going to be brilliant, they're going to look after me so much, but actually they might not have the right craft, because at the end of the day, being a nurse, like, you say it's the medic side of it, but aesthetics, it's a craft, it's an art, it's totally different.
Yeah. Totally different. The thing is, they could be, I don't know, a nurse in an outpatients clinic. Well, this is going to sound awful, but they're not like a nurse in an emergency department, or a nurse that are on the front line, or a nurse that are on MAU, or, it's totally different. Like, nursing has totally different avenues, have different skill set, different knowledge, and just being a nurse doesn't necessarily class you as being a good practitioner.
No, and I know someone that's a nurse, and she said to me, Yannah, I'm a nurse. She works in A&E. She says, I put, cannulas in people all day, every day. I'm, doing all my bits. She went, but I would never dare put a needle in someone's face. She went, wouldn't even know what's safe and what's not.
Yeah.
So, I just, I think it's going to be interesting to see what way it goes. I mean, it's looking like 2027 for England, Scotland. There's big changes coming in at Scotland at the moment, isn't there? But it's looking like for England, it's going to be more 2027. But it's more, in my eyes, as long as the client is put first and there is the right things in place for client safety, then that's what the focus needs to be. 100%. And I do think that with the face-to-face prescriptions, I think that they thought that would solve things. You can very clearly tell that it was someone from the top that's never worked in aesthetics before, because now the black market stuff is bigger than ever. Bigger than ever.
There were loads. Obviously, working in the NHS, you saw loads of people with complications, especially with the Botox, because because it's a prescribed medication that was being sourced off wrong channels completely, and that dangerous.
Yeah, I think they really should approach, some reputable people within the industry to get a real insight of what it's like, because you see this all big front of what aesthetic practitioners do, but unless if you understand how it actually works and the barriers that we face as practitioners as well, I don't think they're going to nail it. I don't think they're going to quite get it right. So I do think they need to be open to looking at all different angles. It's very easy to say, okay, now you need a face-to-face. That's fine, but I know people that are still not doing face-to-face. I know people that are using black market stuff, and openly saying it as well. And I sit there like, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I preach about how bad this is. Like, I will call you out. Like, I will call you out. Don't be doing that in front of me. So, it's a very...
people can be proud to say it. Like, what are you proud about? What, putting people's lives at risk? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Well, not just lives, but you can cause serious damage, like long-term problems for people. Don't get it.
100%. I was doing some training manuals, creating some training manuals for my client a few weeks ago, and we had to do a Botox one. And so it was kind of quite funny, because I've not done anything practical hands-on myself since September last year. And obviously my brain is just so focused on my mentor program now and things like that. So like going back through everything and everything that could go wrong, and it's like, God, I used to do this. Like, no, like, it's crazy. Like, everything that really can go wrong.
You miss it?
What? Sorry.
Do you miss it? Oh no, you would have said yes straight away.
I don't think I do.
No,
I feel like, obviously, when I first came into the industry, it was more, I was very much like you, I had a passion for helping and inspiring others and giving people their confidence back. That's what I'd kind of always done in my businesses prior. It was always about supporting and inspiring others. So I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to love this. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I kind of already thought at that point, oh, I'm likely going to go down the training and academy route. That kind of standard roadmap that you think you're going to go down when you go into the industry. I always knew I was on for more than the hands-on treatments themselves. I knew that was going to be me. But I would say when people started reaching out to me in the industry, asking for help and advice, like on social media, branding, oh, Yannah, that post was amazing. Like, how do you do that? Or, or where do you get your products from? Or what's that technique that you use? I found that the more I was networking, I was like, I actually just want to be working with the actual professionals on this. Like, I want to be mentoring. So the idea was that I was going to do both. But then I found myself... every time I had a client booked in, I'd be like, I want to be on my laptop. I want to be creating one of my ebooks. I want to be working on my website or whatever it was. I just felt that hunger and that passion just completely diverted. So the right thing was to step away. And I don't think I do miss it, you know.
No, because when you're a practitioner running your own business, you've got the social, you've got do it. Honestly, you run like 5 different hats.
You do. I think that the beauty and aesthetic industry is one of the only industries that you're expected to wear every single hat. You know, you're doing your treatments, you're looking after your stock, you've got your finances to manage, you need to keep doing your ongoing training, like you said, you know, you need to be networking. And then, your social media, that's a full-time job in itself.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is insane. So I know when we were first talking, you were saying that you faced quite a few challenges when you came into this industry. You struggled a little bit with like no-shows and things like that, didn't you? Like what happened and how did you navigate through all of that?
Difficult, isn't it? You'll probably understand. And so when I was first starting out, I'd have like one person turn up and I was paying for the clinic. But the thing is, you have to put yourself in these positions, otherwise you're never going to get where you want to be. So yeah, I was just turning up for one person, and that could be in the entire month. Then like 2 and 3, and then sort of luckily, when I first started, I didn't really get any sort of no-shows because obviously I wasn't seeing that many clients. But yeah, as it got more, when I got more busier, I wasn't taking deposits, or people wasn't paying deposits. People would like call me up a few hours before saying, I can't make today. Is it okay if we rearrange? And me being me, I'd be like, yeah, don't worry. Because I know life gets in the way. God, if I'm anyone that knows that life can take over, and that's fine. And I feel guilty for taking money off somebody for not turning up because it's just not one of my
Tough.
But honestly, so it took me, so I started in 2023, it's took me till now to put a 48-hour hold on the booking. If the deposit's not paid, then it goes back on to thingy, because I've been sat in clinic before and people have forgotten to come to me, or they've had other plans, they're having their hair done or the nails done, which is fine, that's more important for them. But then I'm sitting in clinic and there's an hour, 2-hour slot. And I think people forget that this is my wage. Can you imagine going to work and your employer saying to you, yeah, I can't pay for 2 hours, you're right just to crack on? It's just not sustainable for me. And people don't understand, like, they pay a deposit, but it's not all of the product. So the product could cost, I don't know, £80, but they're only paying a £20 deposit or £50 deposit. And I'm forking for that. So if you don't come, I'm constantly in a negative. So I think I got to a point where I was just like, I can't financially do this anymore. So you have to pay a deposit. If you don't turn up, like, some people don't turn up, and I can make it a reasonable, say if it's only like a 15-minute appointment, I won't charge you. But I have started to say now, look, if you're not turning up, I am having to charge it, and the system just takes it automatically. But it's difficult to have them conversations. Like, I'm not here for that.
No, so difficult. So I, from the get-go, had a online booking system. Did you have a booking system to start with, or did you kind of move to one of them later on?
No, I use Faces.
Yeah, Faces, yeah. Yeah, so I used, what was the first one I used? Timely. Absolutely loved it. And I think I started off by doing the £20 deposit as well. So that covered any appointment other than Botox appointments, because obviously you need your prescription, and obviously it's a lot more. That's for that one client. So I always took pretty much the full amount, I think, up front for Botox. Because obviously if they don't turn up, I can't use it. It's got to go straight to the bin. It can't be used anywhere. So I... Even with taking the deposits, and you would, like you say, life gets in the way. Something can come up. We're human. We understand that 100%. We do. We appreciate that. However, like you say, it's our livelihood. Yeah. It's our livelihood. I think there was one day where, yes, the deposits have been paid, but I had 3 people not show up in that day. So out of it, because I was taking the £20 deposit, I'd made £60, but I was out of pocket because I'd already brought all of the supplies. And them conversations are so difficult to have, so difficult. So I started to get a bit harsh with my policies. I'm really sort of hammering down on them, saying like, this is every single time someone booked, it would have a policy on there anyway, which they have to tick, but as we know, they don't read it, let's face it. So what I started then doing, which kind of created a bit more admin time, is I've messaged them immediately after they booked in on the online book system, and I would say to them, thank you so much for booking, you know, I've got this, just to let you know, again, this is the policy that you have agreed, just so I had it in writing. And you know what, after that, it did really start to pick out people. It's like, because I'd already had that conversation, they knew where this stood, and it's like, they were like, oh, she's not going to take no shit from me, you know, she's put it out there to me, she's told me straight, sort of thing. But yeah, there was the ones where it's like, yeah,
you really have to, because I don't know why, Yannah, but I do feel sorry for people in the beauty and hair industry, because they do fit, and it is a luxury, and I get that, and if they can afford it, they'll come, and if they can't, they won't. But I think what they're forgetting is we're not being able to afford to live. Like, I was talking to one of my clients, and I was saying, look, if somebody doesn't pay me, I've really got to scrimp and scrape for, like, because I work half my job. Don't get me wrong, I do half my hours for a nurse and then half my hours, but it doesn't make a full wage. And everybody knows with the cost of living nowadays, if you're not paying somebody for the services or you're not turning up, that's a cost to them, not you.
Yeah, it is. And it is, I think it's a level of respect as well. Like, yeah, like you say, cost of living, absolutely awful, absolutely awful. I mean, I went through just my house outgoings just to actually survive. Just, you know, your rent, your council tax, you know, all your standard bills and all that type of stuff. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's just, you know, and it's not like I'm living out my means. Far from it. You know, there's months where I'm like, a bit like, oh my God, like there's nothing really to play with. You know, we've all been there. That's the reality of it. That's, you know, that's how it is. So yeah, no, it is really tough. So going from, obviously you started off in fillers and Botox, and then you moved into skin, which is where your heart is, isn't it? So what triggered that in you? Was there something that you'd seen, or had you had a treatment yourself? Like, how did you transition into that?
I transitioned into that because then I went into like the skin boosters and the under eye and everything like that. So I went into that. But to be honest, I wanted something that I could offer monthly, something that I could work with. Do you know, I don't know how I fell into it, but I'm glad I did, because I absolutely love skin. Do you know what I zone? When I'm doing a facial treatment, it relaxes me. I get the benefit as much as you. Obviously, I'm not having the treatment, but I just love doing it. I love it. But I can't remember how I just fell into it. I think, what was it? No, I don't know.
Yeah, that was like me. Because when I did my training, it did include microneedling and dermaplaning. I mean, you would have laughed your head off if you saw me with a dermaplaning blade for the first time, because I couldn't for the life of me understand how to angle it. Like, there's even a picture of it, and I'm sat really stiff like that, and the trainer's going, Yannah, move, relax, like you, and I'm like, this was the client's face, like moving my body, like instead of, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But then, obviously, once your confidence builds up, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the benefits of skin treatments, and I think, thankfully, we are now stepping out of that, you know, oh, it's all fakeness stance. Because a lot of people do have that take on filler and things like that. Luckily, I mean, personally, you know, we're going into that natural looking tweakments now. Everyone wants the perfect skin, and people are understanding the benefits of skin treatments as well. I mean, microneedling, can't live without it. I'm obsessed with microneedling and skin boosters. They've got my heart, like, generally. Love them. And I think there's so many brilliant products now coming out, like polys, for example.
Polynucleotides. Yeah, one of the best treatments.
Yeah, amazing. And it's like, God, it does advance. It's advancing all the time. So I think it's like a really good time, really, to be in skin. You know, it is, because I think, God, I wish half the stuff wasn't around when I was doing it. That's how quickly it's advanced. And it's only been what 10 months. Can't do quick maths now. That's not right. It's not 10 months, less than that. But since I was actually, loads of stuff's changed. Loads of stuff has changed.
Yeah, new products on the market. Loads of it. Yeah, definitely.
Love it. So with your promoting of your business then, so obviously at the time you mentioned that you might have had like the one person booking, or two get my words out, 2 people booking a month or whatever it was. Where did things really start to shift and change for you?
Yeah. So it took ages for me to gather clients, get them word out. I am a bit old fashioned with advertising and stuff like that. So I got little price lists, was delivering them through letterboxes around my local area, putting them in local shops. What else was I doing? I done banners, stuff like that. And just social media on local groups. Just anywhere that I could, I would go in. And I remember going into like some shops in the local town, I'm not going to name them, and I was like, I can't have my price list there. And I was like, that's fine, totally fine. But like the amount of times that you get, because you're in aesthetics and this label around aesthetics, I got turned away quite a few times in quite a few shops, which is a bit disheartening because and then I've had my banners removed in some places. So it's hard, and it does deflate you because you're not getting a lot back from you putting all this work in. But it'll be worth it one day.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it's the reputation. It has, unfortunately, got a bad reputation, and the worst part about it is the reputation is because of people not being ethical, in my opinion. The overfilling their lips. If someone came to me with migration or really overfilled lips and they booked in to have their lips done, it'd be like, I'm so sorry, babe, but you ain't having your lips done. If anything, they need dissolving. We need a fresh base. They need, and they go, right, it's fine, then I'll go somewhere else. One of my clients literally had someone do that to her recently as well. She says, oh, I want my lips. She's like, I can't do them. And I would never have put my name to something that I didn't believe in or wasn't ethically right with me. And that's where the difference lies. Some people are just happy to take that money, think, oh, it's just a quick sale, it's a quick £100 or whatever it is. Excuse me. And it has got a bad reputation, and you see a lot of negative in the media about it as well. There's been, like the bum filler. I wouldn't dream of going near someone's bum with some filler. Like, come on now. Like, what are you even thinking? And I know some people that have been in the industry 10+ years and they're like, never. Not a chance.
No.
So dangerous.
It's so dangerous. Filler itself is dangerous. I
mean, to me, I think it's crazy that there's now even practitioners carrying out liposuction. Like, that's what
surgical.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just
not an aesthetic procedure, it's a medical procedure.
It's crazy. It's like when I was looking the other day at what would be in the red zone, as they're going to call it. So this will be where people, I believe it needs to be surgeons and that type of level of professionals dealing with it. But there was the threads on there, which I agree with, because threads can snap in the face and it requires surgical removal. There was the liposuction on there, obviously the filler for the bum, boobs, and a man's area now. That's a new thing as well. The filler's being put into bits. Yeah, that's a new one. And I when I read it, I was like, what? That's actually a thing. So then, being a little geek that I am, found loads of reports on it. It's actually a thing.
Oh my God.
Crazy. So everything crazy. But everything that I read on there, I was like, I can't even believe that they need to now red zone it, because surely logically no one that's an aesthetic injector would even consider doing that.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't go to them sort of people anyway, because clearly they don't know the risks involved, and they're not putting you just wouldn't.
I think there was one of my friends, she went and had bum filler done at a clinic in Essex, I believe it was. Advertised as a celebrity clinic. There was lots of celebrity reviews, like the videos that they do, like, oh, I've had this treatment done here, all that type of stuff. She went, she nearly died. She got sepsis.
Oh God. Yeah.
And it turned out that when she got sepsis, she shared it online, and she was reached out to by some reporters. Apparently she wasn't the only one. This was like a huge number of women that have been affected. And you just think, it's scary. Social media is scary. People can really, perceive themselves in a different light. And I think that's what becomes a bit scary with social media, is now you really just can't see through it all the time. Like, is this a genuine review, or is this something that they've put in ChatGPT?
AI. Yeah.
it's insane. Like it is worrying. So you know how you went around and did your flyers and stuff. I actually rate that. Because that's like, you know, the real organical growth as such of it all. You know, I rate that. And a lot of people now online, they just scroll because they don't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah. It's getting to be, it's terrible, that is. And I can't believe people do that. It should be like, what's it called? Assault, is it? If somebody does that to somebody?
You'd think so. There should be some type of criminal charges. Yeah. They should. I do know that the place where my friend went, I do know that there was something criminal going on. I think that did happen because of the amount of cases that there was. But, you know, I think it was also, did you read was it the Lip King?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's passed away, hasn't he? Because he had filler in his bum. Yeah.
I don't know too much. It's just what you hear on social media. So you don't know.
Yeah, so I can't really comment on it too much. But, you know, even things like that, like a practitioner themselves having something done and it's not gone right. I mean, it's scary. It's like I say, you can't play Russian roulette with people. No. You just really can't.
The thing is, there's always going to be that element of you having an injection. There's going to be a risk of bruising, bleeding. There is a risk of infection, depending on if you follow the aftercare or what medications you're on. If you're immunocompromised and you have an injection but don't tell people, and there's always that risk. But I think that's the difference between, is it safe to do or is it unsafe to do? And if it's unsafe to do and then there's a complication, then that ultimately lies with the practitioner themselves for doing something that should never have been done in the first place.
Agreed. And that's why I was always so big on consultations as well. Like, you know, making sure that the treatment is right for that patient, making sure your patch testing is done, especially when I was doing skin. So, you know, I was using like, you know, the medical grade products. I'd always make sure patch test was done on their skin. And I would always do it a week before to make sure, to be absolutely certain that my client was going to be safe. And, you know, I'd have people like, oh, no, just do it. I'm like, babe, this is your body. Like, you could have a serious allergic reaction, you know. And it's a bit worrying sometimes, I think, that clients actually don't care either. They're not bothered. They don't really want.
I don't think it's going to happen to them. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Now, I know someone that's a practitioner and she had her lips dissolved, didn't have a patch test and she was allergic to it.
Yeah.
Like,
you get a delayed reaction as well, though.
Mummy, can we go walk with my scooter?
Yeah, in a minute. You're going to say hello to Yannah?
Hi. Oh, you're a cutie, you aren't you? So, Holly, what do you feel like is next for you in your business?
So I'm going to continue to grow, continue to keep doing what I'm doing because I love doing what I'm doing. And do you know what? I love my clients. Some of my clients have become I love coming to see them, love talking to them, and they're actually like friends. But yeah, I want to do more training. That's what I want to do. Eventually, I do want to train others, but I feel like I need a bit more experience because, do you know, looking back, I was thinking about this today. Looking back when I first started, I had no clue. I was winging it at some points because you just don't, do you? But you're not aware that you don't know that much because you think, oh, 1-day course and I'll be fine. But I knew, so I didn't know a lot at all and I was winging it. So I think in a few more years, I want to train people. I'm waiting for my prescribing. So I've just done my prescribing. So yeah, that's another big thing. But I'd like to do my next adventure that I want to invest in is like cryotherapy. So like moles, skin tan, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen other clinics, you know, across the UK doing it. It looks fantastic. Like, you know, this is the thing. The industry actually is amazing when it's done right. You know, there's so many things that can be done now with aesthetic treatments, and it's really time that people start to see the positives of it rather than just the negatives. And I do think as an industry we are turning a bit of a corner because people are getting a bit more clever with their content. They are educating more. You know, the standard before and after just don't do it anymore. And I'm kind of glad in a sense because it makes practitioners have to put themselves out there to educate people further, you know, actually show behind the scenes, and it gives the public a better understanding of what they see as safe or, you know, what to stay clear of. And I do think that is brilliant. But I think as an industry as a whole, I think it's fantastic. Like, I couldn't love the industry more if I tried. You know, I always say to people, like, I have friends say, oh, I really want to start a business. Go into beauty and aesthetics. Like, do it because you'll love it. You'll love it, but obviously for the right reasons. Like, because whether you stay on doing hands-on treatments or whether you go down the teaching route or mentorship route, like what I have or whatever, it opens the doors to so much things. I mean, I do see people that are going to mentorship, but they've got no qualifications in the industry. And I do think that's a little bit odd, because when I'm mentoring my students and my clients, I need that level of understanding of the industry myself to support them. And it actually blows my mind that there's people out there that haven't got any.
This is what I find mind-blowing, Yannah. Like, people that have been in the industry a year are training people, and it's like, you've got, like, no offence, but you've not been in the industry long enough to know yourself how to train somebody. Because, like I said, when I first started, I'm like, what are we now? Nearly 3 years in, and I still don't feel confident to teach people. Like, no matter, it's mad. And the thing is, I've obviously on social media look at other people, what they talk about, what they do, and I just find, like, I don't agree with some things that they do with their treatments. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I am, but yeah, I don't agree.
I am.
Yeah. But yeah, I just find, like, some people are teaching people the wrong thing, and it's dangerous. We need to get into this culture where we're teaching everybody the same thing. It's not like you can do one treatment 500 million different ways, because it's not. Like, yes, there's different techniques. I'm not saying there's not different techniques. But yeah, I just think some things.
Agreed. And I mean, I know someone that was local to me, and I think they'd only been qualified about 6 months before they opened up a training academy. And I thought, you physically, you probably haven't even got the practical hands-on experience. Never mind, you can't know everything about aesthetics within 6 months. You do. It's a bit like one of them jobs, unfortunately, that you learn
on the job.
On the job, yeah. A bit like what they say about driving, isn't it? You learn to drive when you're actually driving.
Yeah.
And that's why I was too terrified to inject anyone, even though I'd walked away with this certificate. I felt like I don't know enough. I don't want to go and inject someone's face, but this certificate tells me that I can. I've got insurance for it, which tells me I can. But ethically, no.
Yeah.
No.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, I did have some support from Zoe, who's from Belper. She was absolutely amazing with me. Amelia, I speak to her. So I did have some good people that really helped me when I first started out, which helped.
Yeah. And I think networking is so important. It's so important. And I think it can be a very intimidating industry. There can be cliques. There can. And I have seen the mean girl energy. I have seen it a lot. But I tell you what, there is some fantastic people as well.
You know what? I would say network. Go on a retreat if you can. And this is why I spent so much money, because I went on a retreat. But I don't regret that retreat whatsoever. I learned so much, and I grew my business so much. The tips and tricks, or the practitioners, and they might not even be in the aesthetic industry. They might be in the hair, the beauty. But the amount of expertise that they have that can transition into your job is phenomenal.
Yeah. Agreed. And I am massive on networking, which is why I've then opened up the CEO hub, which is like the free community hub where people in the industry, whether in the hair, beauty or aesthetics, can come in and just network in a safe space, because social media can be such a headache at times. Like, sometimes I open my phone and I think I've just not got the headspace for social media. And unfortunately, in our businesses, or even for any business owner, I think social media is so important now. You've got to be on social media, and that's difficult in itself sometimes. When you're just feeling a bit meh, or you've got life stuff going on, and you've got to show up on social media still. It's like, no, because I don't feel like it. It's so tough. So that's why I created the hub, so that anyone can join, whether they're in the hair, beauty or aesthetic industry, like I say, and just network. So whether you've got a question, like you could pop in a question like, oh, does anyone have recommendations for this, or has anyone ever experienced this? That's the whole point of it, away from social media as like our own dedicated private space as such, because networking is so important. I know some people that have never been to a networking event, or they haven't really got many, you know, contacts, and I'm like, do it, babe, just go to one and you will never look back, because there is some amazing people.
And there's going to be people there that are on their own too, that feel exactly the same. And the thing is, if you want to grow your business, you've got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because if you don't step out of that comfort zone, one, you're never going to let yourself grow, and two, you're never going to be able to reach where you're quite capable of reaching.
Agreed. And you do have to step out your comfort zone. And I can remember, right, there has been times where I've know that I've got to do something, whether it's a piece of content or whether it's going live or whatever it is, and I have worked myself up like, well, I know I've got to do it, but my brain is going, no. Everyone's going to make fun of you. Everyone's going to laugh at you. You know, you're going to be sent into all these group chats, always. But you know, once you do it, it's like, what? It's your brain then just goes, oh, you're safe then, you're okay, you can do it. But that when you try something for the first time, something new, your brain, it's like, no, you can't do that. Too scary.
Yeah. I think the thing is, social media, it's a bit
lead and stuff.
Yeah, do you want to go and get it then?
I can.
No. What was I going to say? I think in a minute. I'm just talking to Yannah, aren't I? Yeah. What I was going to say, social media is a minefield in itself. It takes, honestly, I've had to have a few breaks from social media in the past, even like 4 weeks break, because it takes so much energy, so much time, and it does drain you. I was going to say something, then I've totally forgot.
No, I get it. I mean, it's like, I'm very open and honest. I really suffer from anxiety, like severe anxiety. I'll have bouts where I'm okay, and then I'll have bouts where I can't face the world, I can't do anything. And I've had a bit of a burnout recently because I was likely working too much. There was stuff going on, you know, personal, all that type of stuff. Like, we're human at the end of the day. So for around 2 months, I was completely non-existent, silent over across social media, and everyone was messaging like, Yannah, are you all right? Because you've just gone like quiet. And I'm like, I'm all right, but I'm not in the headspace for it. And as business owners, I was panicking, thinking, am I going to damage everything that I've built because I've taken this 2 months away? I mean, luckily that didn't happen. But again, I think that's a lot down to networking. I network with a lot of professionals that they're so supportive. It was more like they was thinking, oh, I've not forgot about her. I'm actually asking where she is. Is everything all right? You know?
Yeah. And that's nice that you've got that sort of community. Yeah.
I love it. I think with you know, I work on my own probably more than what I did before. At least before, I'd have clients coming to me all day, every day. You know, you like you say, your clients become your friends, so you're catching up like, oh my god, what happened last week? Like, what are they saying? You know, you love it. It's like a bit of a gossip, isn't it? That is the one thing that I do miss. I do miss seeing my clients so much. Oh, one moment, let me just do the puzzle piece. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that is the one thing that I do really, really miss. Like, it's the seeing my clients all the time. Like, I do miss my clients because there was always just so lovely and amazing. But yeah, it can be lonely as a mentor. Like, it can. I do a lot of online work, a hell of a lot of online work, but my days are pretty much consumed by social media, content creation, or building the website, or doing things in the hub. Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on. So it can be difficult at times, and it's a bit like, oh, I just miss that interaction. I mean, I'm getting better. I am getting better, like reaching out to people, you know, and saying, oh, do you want to go for a coffee or breakfast? Like, I am getting better, like, you know.
You need to, because it's social interaction, not online, but in person. That's so important. Like, just a hug, or like just being not in front of a camera or something like that. But yeah, going back to social media, I absolutely hate posting all the time. Yeah, it's one of the worst things. I'll do it, but who wants to stand in front of the camera and talk?
It's hard. It is really, really hard. And I think as well, the pressure of social media.
Yeah.
Social media should be used, this is like something I talk about a lot, it should be used strategically. And I think what's kind of happened instead, it used to be like that. So you'd post your before and afters, or you post like a bit of behind the scenes or whatever. But now it's like, oh my God, I need to post every single day, and I need to reply back to everyone. Oh, there's a new trend. Oh, I've got to dance in front of the camera like that. Oh, I've got to put this sound on it. It's become too trend focused, which is difficult for business owners to keep on top of, and that is where the overwhelm and the burnout comes from, which is why I make sure that my clients divert back to using it for strategy reasons. So what is your aim? I say to them, if you post every single post that you put out there should have an end goal, for example. So if you're wanting to really promote, you know, a filler package, for example, that's what you need to be surrounding your content around. Not just thinking, oh, I'm going to dance in front of the camera just because I need to. It's tough, and I know everyone has that feeling as well, Holly. It's tough.
And you feel if you're not doing it, you're not keeping up appearances. Like,
exactly.
I hardly do any of these trends and I just feel, am I missing out? But
no,
then
you're not.
Yeah.
You're not missing out. I try and steer away from them the best that I can. There might be some that I find relatable and think, yeah, that is a bit of me, so I will get involved. But I won't do one just for the sake of doing it, thinking, oh, everyone else is doing it, so I best go and do it. I won't do it. And I know that me and Amelia will have the same conversation on her podcast. Like, she was saying, she's like, you'll never find me dancing in front of a camera. She said, not a chance. She went, I'm a nurse prescriber. I don't need to be doing that. I'm like, it's true. Like, did you see that video where it's like showing a client all your certificates and they're going, no. But then the practitioner starts dancing and they're like, yeah. Like,
how bad's that? We're not performing monkeys.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Right, Holly, babe, we'll start wrapping up so you can spend some time with your little one.
No, my little laddie.
Oh, back from holiday.
Yeah. You going to tell them where you've been?
Well, you have been very good while Mum has been speaking to Yannah, so thank you very, very much.
You've been such a good girl, haven't you? Yeah.
Oh, bless. Well, Holly, it's been amazing having you on, and thank you so much for taking the time to reach out to me and putting yourself forward. Like, again, you stepped out your comfort zone, and that's what I say to people. Like, just step out your comfort zone, just do something different.
You've got to.
Yeah, you've got to do it. But no, thank you so much, Holly. Is there anything, before we do let you go, is there any advice that you would give to someone that is thinking about joining the industry or might be in the industry that's struggling with certain things at the moment?
Yeah, so I think if you're coming into the industry, what I would say, and I don't try and put anybody off, but I just want to be honest, is make sure that you have the funds to do it. Don't put yourself in debt trying to do something or achieve something that you can't achieve financially. So make sure that you've got some savings there, that you can afford to do it. And just, I want to be honest, is that it's a hard industry, especially when you first start out. So you've got to keep pushing. And if you want it, you'll do it. If you haven't got that oomph, that fire in the belly, or, you know, the need or want to do it, then it's probably not the industry for you, because it is hard. There's a lot of competition, and it is difficult. What I'd say to people that are in the industry, that are struggling, it all depends on what they're struggling with, to give the right advice. But I think whatever you're struggling with, find somebody that you look up to or feel like you can reach out to them, because they won't mind you reaching out to them. Meet them for a coffee. If it's something to do with you struggling to getting clients, find a different strategy. Didn't say that right, but go and deliver leaflets like I did. So what? I've done delivering leaflets loads of times. It got my steps in. Do you know what I mean? Don't feel bad for like walking around the streets delivering leaflets, because who cares? At the end of the day, the only person that's going to promote your business is yourself. You can't rely on family, friends, or clients, because it doesn't matter to them as much as it matters to you. So just keep pushing, keep promoting, and you will get where you want to be. Whether it takes years or, you know, you will get there. You just got to keep going and don't give up.
That's the best advice, Holly. Honestly, I couldn't have put it any better myself, babe. So thank you so much. And very quickly, where can people find you on Instagram and on here if they want to follow you?
Yeah, so it's skinandyou_Ripley. And I am from Ripley, Derbyshire. So if you want to come and say hello, come in. What I'd always say is, if you are struggling with your skin, start with the skin analysis and plan. It's the best way to put yourself forward to look after your skin. But another thing, Yannah, because I can talk too much and I don't actually want to go, but remember, if you're a client and you're on here or thinking about a skin treatment, one treatment won't fix it all, okay? And even if you have a course of treatment, so let's say you have polynucleotides and you have the 3 initial courses, you'll still need to come up every 3, 6, 9 months to have the top up, because if you don't, your skin's just going to go back to the way it was, and then you'll be in the same position where you was, 6 months ago.
Yeah, and it really is. Consistency is key, isn't it? It really is. And again, it's very important to be stepping away from, this one treatment's going to solve everything. It's like you don't go to the gym one time and expect a six-pack, do you? You know, it requires consistency and maintenance, doesn't it? It's the same, and it's exactly the same with skin. It's the biggest organ in the body, isn't it? You know, it's alive, isn't it? Not alive, you know what I mean? It's massive, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it needs to be taken care of, but people forget that. Like, people actually do forget, like, not wearing SPF.
I know, one of the biggest things for aging, natural aging, UVA, UVB, wear your sunscreen. But
Brilliant. Right, Holly babe, thank you so much, and I'm sure we'll catch up again very, very soon. All right, my lovely. So yeah, you go and enjoy some time with your little one now. All right, and we will catch up very soon.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.